Do you want to mess with my foo? Well, that's okay because my foo is not the greatest right now, and I don't have gung fu like John Wick. But man, if I did, I'd have crazy foo, and I'd go all foo on you foo. So this is Sifu, and it's a kung fu, pretty much a kung fu simulation game where you gradually get better, and it's got an age mechanism to it as well, which is unusual, and it feels like a 3D karateka. But it's got an interesting story. You sort of like your clan is defeated and you somehow don't get killed. I'm not sure. I don't remember. And then you survive and you try and seek revenge. And you seek revenge on the clan that killed your clan. As far as I know, all of your clan except for you. So it's got a okay sort of cliche story to it. Yeah, and your father's killed and seeks avenge his murder. It's really a martial arts simulator with like kind of a 10% story wrapped around it. Like, I don't know if they designed the story after or what, but it just kind of feels that way. It's third person, you can dodge, you can block, you can do martial arts, punches, sweeps and kicks, but you have to like really time it out. Like, this game is very unforgiving. Like, you either know what you're doing or you don't, and the game doesn't care whether you do or you don't. So get good or, you know, get dead, pretty much is what this game's all about. And there's very little room for error. Even the basic enemies take a huge chunk of your life off, which so again, it's very unforgiving in that sense. The combat's fluid, animation is very superb, which I found stood out the most. Very deep gameplay if you invest the time to become an expert in the complexity of Kung Fu. Awesome, great. So it sounds exciting, but as I said, it's more of a simulation and it's played more seriously than like arcade 3D beat 'em up. There was that, I've forgotten the name, but there was a 3D game called like Killers or something. I think Sega made it. I could never find out what it was. It's not like that. That's got like super moves, everything in the game. The AI is stupid in that game. This game, the AI is like, oh, we'll take you out if you don't know what you're doing, because we know what we're doing. And there's no adjustable difficulty, which is a huge downside to this game, I feel like. And you know, it's going to discourage a lot of people that try it out thinking, hey, you know, I'll be like Bruce Lee and just whoop some ass. And that's not what this game's like. So it's when the combat gets together, it really does feel like a Bruce Lee movie or like Jackie Chan, and you're like jumping around and you're blocking and you're sweeping people. But I feel like when I was playing it, maybe it's because I suck at it, but I felt like the moves are all very stiff. Like, you just do a kick and then you do a punch, and it's like, it's just so static. Like, it doesn't seem to flow. Even though the animation's good, it seems like kind of robotic. Like, instead of like a smooth, I don't know, that's the impression I got. It didn't feel like I was really a martial artist as much as like I was just doing a bunch of moves. That's how it felt like to me. So yeah, it felt like wonky, stiff, and like repetitive martial arts. Maybe it gets better, but that's just the impression it left me. The game's ridiculously hard and a high barrier for entry, unfortunately. And the game expects you to invest a ton of time in learning things, the moves. And apparently the game's super short. There's only 5 levels. Maybe that's why the difficulty is so high, because, you know, they'll pad out the experience. I don't know, but that's what it seems like. And there's a lack of enemy variety as well. The game cost $43, which I thought, hey, you know, this is cool Kung Fu simulator. You know, $40, that's fine, you know, it could be worse, it could be $80. But having played it now and sort of like, I have to be honest, I didn't get the enjoyment that some people really got from this. It just didn't seem like, yeah, it was realistic in the sense that you're going to get your butt kicked if you don't know what you're doing, but still, it definitely seemed ridiculously high to fight the enemies, and will turn people off from playing. The game, to me, it's more of like a solid $20 or $30, not $43, not even more than that. It's a 7 out of 10. Like, I think it's cool what they did, and like the fact you have to it's like a roguelike in the sense that you get older. I didn't really see that so much because the game didn't entertain me long enough for me to stick around. But so you pretty much have to like perfect each level, and unfortunately I would rather just enjoy a cool kung fu game where I gradually learn moves than to try and have to spend like 150 hours like some people did. It just, to me, I feel like if they had an adjustable difficulty, you know, let people play the game when they, how they want to, not necessarily just make it so hard that you turn like 90% of the people away. And it seems like it's a really polarizing game. You either really love it or you're just totally turned off, and I'm leaning towards, like, you know, it would have been cooler if it was more of like a fun Bruce Lee film than you know, a super serious kung fu simulator. So yeah, I would say, you know, if you have the time investment to put in this game, great. If you don't, I would steer clear of this unless you can play at a buddy's place and see if it's for you. I really got hyped up thinking this would be awesome, and it wasn't really super awesome for me, at least. So yeah, perfecting runs, that's not my type of game. So, you know, for people that like that, go for it, but that's not for me. So continue the art of fighting without fighting, and keep on gaming and learn your fu. So keep on gaming. Bye.